Before you dive in, hit that subscribe button. There's a lot more stories like this waiting, and you won't want to miss them. Trust me, you'll thank me later. I never thought a funeral could feel like a battlefield, but as I stepped into the cold marble hall, it did. My wife, Claire, glided ahead, impeccably dressed, a serene smile plastered across her face that seemed almost rehearsed. Around us, mourners whispered condolences, hands clutched tissues, and the scent of lilies mingled with polished oak. Yet my eyes were drawn to her hands, delicate, poised, resting casually over a small envelope that, for reasons I couldn't name, made my stomach twist. The service had barely begun when the first whispers hit me. "He left millions," one relative muttered, voice trembling. I blinked, caught somewhere between disbelief and denial. Grandpa's estate had always been sizable, but millions? And yet, Claire's expression didn't waver. Not a flicker of surprise, not a tremor of awe. Just calm, composed certainty. After the eulogy, the crowd thinned, leaving me alone with her in the dimly lit parlor. "I got the plane ticket," I said, holding up my crumpled boarding pass. "I leave tomorrow morning." Her eyes flicked to mine for a heartbeat, then back to the envelope. 6 words, simple ordinary words, escaped her lips, but they landed like stones in my chest. "You're not coming with me?" The question shouldn't have felt like a punch, yet it did. My chest tightened. "Of course I am. Why wouldn't I?" She tilted her head, letting a faint smile curve her lips. "Oh, I didn't mean that, just, I'll be fine." Fine. The word was precise, measured, unsettling. My mind started to twist the scene into explanations. She was grieving, overwhelmed, needing space. But grief rarely requires secretive smiles, or the tactile caress of an envelope tucked into one's palm. Later that evening, in our hotel room, I couldn't stop thinking about those 6 words. They replayed in my mind like a broken record. And then I noticed it. The phone notifications, light flickers on her screen, subtle vibrations she tried to hide. Names I didn't recognize, conversations I couldn't read. I told myself it was nothing, rationalized it as distant cousins or estate lawyers. But the envelope gnawed at me, a quiet, persistent reminder that something wasn't right. Morning came too quickly. Claire was already dressed, suitcase neatly packed. I watched her move with practiced elegance, the kind that didn't belong to someone racked with grief. "We'll see you in a few days," she said casually, and in her tone, I caught the faintest edge of amusement. My throat went dry. At the airport, I handed over my boarding pass. She lingered, hands brushing mine, her smile warm yet distant. "Have a safe flight," she said, and then, just as I turned to leave, she whispered almost to herself, "I'll see you soon, but not with him." Time froze. My heartbeat slammed against my ribs. Him. Not me. A betrayal unveiled in 6 words. The flight ticket in my pocket suddenly felt like a mockery, a tangible emblem of my exclusion. My mind raced. Who was he? How long? And why? Back home, I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. Every familiar corner of our house suddenly felt alien, charged with suspicion. I traced her steps over the past month, re-examined her calls, the texts, the smiles she thought I'd never notice. Each tiny detail, once dismissed, now screamed evidence. And I hated myself for ignoring the red flags, for trusting a word too easily spoken, for loving blindly. The turning point came 2 weeks later. I returned early from my trip, heart pounding, palms sweaty. Our front door was slightly ajar. Inside, the faint scent of her perfume mixed with another, sharper, foreign aroma. My hand froze on the doorknob. The envelope, the one from Grandpa's funeral, was on the kitchen counter. I opened it, expecting financial documents. Instead, I found photographs, receipts, notes, evidence meticulously compiled, almost as if she had anticipated discovery. And there he was, in every frame, his presence undeniable. I sank to the floor, world tilting. The betrayal wasn't loud, wasn't brash. It was quiet, calculated, waiting for the precise moment to land. And land it did. My love, my trust, shattered under the weight of her deception. I had given her everything. My time, my heart, my faith. And she had given herself elsewhere, in secrecy and smiles. Weeks later, I confront her, not with rage, but with a hollow, aching emptiness. Why? My voice trembled, more from heartbreak than anger. Claire looked at me, eyes soft but unapologetic. It wasn't about love, she said almost tenderly. It was about security, choices, survival. Her words were clinical, antiseptic. She tried to explain, to justify, to soften the blow with reason. But reason doesn't erase the sting of betrayal. The slow-burning ache of knowing someone you trusted could lie with such precision. I walked away, each step heavier than the last, the echo of 6 words trailing behind me like a shadow I couldn't shake. And as I disappeared into the city streets, the envelope in my pocket reminded me that some wounds, once opened, never truly close.